really makes them stand out from a lot of other macro images that I've seen. How do you achieve that? Well, first of all, how do you achieve the color in there? Do you gel the speedlight, or how do you do that?
No, I mean, a lot of the instances, the color that's on the actual insect is the color of the insect, and because insects, I think it's mostly the males, they have colourful because they're trying to attract a female. So you got the colour from there, but also if you place the background close enough to the subject, you'll get bounce light from it as well. So if you've got a flower in the background, the light will bounce off the flower and like create a rim light around the subject, so particularly around damselfly eyes. If you look at some of my damselfly shots, you'll see the colour of the background going around the lights like a rim light. So it's all technique with the background, the flash. The flash is basically the same colour every single time, and we just create it with either bouncing it from the background, or it's just the natural look of the insect, like the damselfly images that I have when it comes to macro.
It's definitely, I mean, it's a super interesting subject matter. It's it's definitely something I'm going to try, just for fun, because as you said, it's a perfect thing to try at home or in your garden, or it's just something you can quite easily do, as a hobby, for example.
If you want to have a go at macro, then the first thing you need to do is get your set up for macros.
I mean, it's not difficult.
It can be difficult, but anyone who wants to give macro a really good go, okay, go out to a duck pond, find some feathers, okay, place them on a desk and simply place a water drop onto it, and that's it. Okay, you can light it with natural lights, you can have the light coming through the window, you can use LED lights, and you can create some really creative macro shots.
And I think sometimes when we mention photo stacking, sometimes I think people tend to so shy away from things like macro and even toy photography, because they think, okay, well, now I have to get into this whole other thing of like learning new techniques like photo stacking. What technique do you use when it comes to photo stacking, for example?
Well, I'll talk about two different techniques, because we have full frame cameras and then we got the macro setup. So typically with older cameras, not necessarily newer ones, particularly older cameras, you have to do your focus stacking manually. So you're going to take your camera, you're going to take a shot, move it forward slightly, take another shot, move it forward slightly, take another shot, move it forward, take another shot. And you just get a series of images where the focus point is at different points throughout the scene. And then in software, we can combine those together, and the software will choose just the sharp pixels and combine them all together to create a shot where your depth of field is higher than you physically can get with the actual equipment. Because depth of field is something that inherently comes with the optics from your camera and your lens.
That is it's actually a very good point. I mean, yes, in order to access the focus stacking or focus bracketing menu, you need to go into the menu, and there's a start button.
Yeah.
Or, it's a touchscreen thing.
You'd have to look into it. With the Olympus system, you can set it up so that when you press your shutter button, it starts to stack. You can look through the viewfinder, the EVF while you're stacking. And again, the image stabilization makes it very easy to get handheld stack.
Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed that clip, then press here for the full episode in glorious Technicolor. Hey, and don't forget to subscribe.